Hello, this is going to be a video tutorial about material settings. And I often say this, and I'm actually going to show you guys what I'm talking about. Now, I may fumble around because I'm in Essentials. I don't use Essentials very much. But in any Chief Architect incorporated software program, you want to go to Edit, before you even draw the first wall. Edit, Default Settings. Whoops, I'm having a little trouble with my mouse. Edit default settings. Left click and materials. Excuse me, left click. Okay, the settings in Pro and Suite are slightly different, but this is very basic. So here's your materials defaults. Let's just take a look at it and see if we can find floor. I don't see flooring. Oops. All right. Essentials really is different from what I'm used to seeing. Okay. Let's see where else we might be able to find it. Let's look under floor. And structure, floor finish. There's no settings here. Let's check the materials tab. Floor covering. Hey, there's that wood that guy was talking about. That's the default for the entire first floor. I'm just going to leave that alone. Let's draw a box, an enclosed space, and then take a look. All right, we'll use the dollhouse camera. And I'll bet you there'll be wood floor on there. Now if you open, I right-clicked in here, open the dialog box of the room, and there's a floor covering setting here in materials. And I can change it there. All right, let's change it to something else. Vinyl laminate. Fine. Okay. There's something different. Now this is via the room dialog box, and I changed it for that room, but the default is still wood. So like if I go back here and I draw another room, yeah, okay, let's do it this way. I'll use an interior wall tool. Split this in half, and yeah, all right, we'll go to the. It'll probably have the same material. Yeah, it's still got that same material. I'm going to click on Select Material, and this time I'm going to go up to the top. Well, I didn't see what I was. Again, Essentials is tripping me up a little bit. I was expecting to see Use Default up there. Okay, Essentials really is different. Okay, and that wood stuff is under wood, I would suppose. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to change it so that when I do my dollhouse camera now, you'll see two different floor materials in there. Where's the camera tool thing? There it is. So if I open this dialog box and go to floor covering, I'll tell you what, you just open this wall up. When I do that, I lose the room definition. And I'll close it again. And the software has a tendency to remember the last setting. Now, I'm going to just draw a marquee around that and delete it, draw another one. I'm using interior walls this time, doesn't matter. I'm just demonstrating how the software is programmed to work. I'll take a, and it should show that wood there because I completely deleted the room. Okay, remember the last setting. Let's draw another one here beside it. Oops, let's do it clockwise. You always draw your walls in a clockwise fashion because that puts the exterior layer, excuse me, on the outside. And we're talking about computers, so it doesn't matter if it's an interior walls that you're using. I just got a closed space there. Yeah, and there's the default back. Because this is a new space, unprogrammed, and so it picked up the default. Let's just, for fun, while that's open, I'll go over here to Edit Default Settings, Floor. Yeah, in the more expensive titles, there's more choices here under Materials. And we'll change the floor covering default to something else. Okay, no, not rugs. Carpet, we'll change it to carpet. Something that'll show up nice in color. I'm not an interior decorator here. So the room that had that was set by default changed, and this one over here didn't, because this one was told to have a different material in it. Now, if we want to put it back, we can use the eyedropper. I'll click here and then spray there. So I recommend that you use dialog boxes to do most of your material settings, but if you keep it to a minimum, the eyedropper and the material painter. See, when you click on the material painter, it'll ask you what material you want to paint with. And over here, excuse me, over here, you click on the eyedropper, then you left click on the material you want to copy, and then paste it on there. I'm going to hit Control-Z to undo that. Okay. So you got room dialog box settings for materials, and the senior settings that the other fellow mentioned are in default settings, materials. In every program, some of these settings, there's more choices, and there's room, plan materials and library materials and essentials. That's not true. But this is the most senior area, and then you want to make local changes. You make them in the room dialogues in their own dialog box thing. Like for just this box here, I can change the walls. Like right now, it's set to the default of drywall. Set it to something else. Fine, I'll make it fur. Now the walls are fur. But the default is drywall, so the default settings are going to do this, and then local settings are going to do that. And another setting is in the wall dialog itself. I just select one wall, click Next. I just select that wall. I had the room, and I hit the Next button to get that wall. And it's got a Materials tab for interior and exterior. We'll just change the interior. And the default there is drywall, but I've got fur on it from the room dialog box. Let's see what happens when I change it. So we'll just make it a color. Red. There we go. Red. See, that walls dialog box overrode the room dialog box setting that I put in there. See, that hadn't changed. It's still set to fur. But if you wanted to change one wall, and if you want to, there's another way. I don't know if Essentials has it or not, but floor covering. No, Essentials doesn't have that feature. Never mind. I was thinking of the wall covering, which this program doesn't have. So anyway, that's the basics of materials for walls and floors. Everything that's got a dialog box mostly has a materials tab, say a materials tab, and for that single selected object, and you can make changes. Like since at the wall, there's an inside and an outside layer. On this one, to wrap up this tutorial, I'm going to just select this wall here, and we'll just change the outer layer, the exterior layer, to something or other. Yeah, it's nice bright color, and see, there it is. Because I told it to be on the exterior, so it's on the exterior. I just thought of one more thing I should show you guys. Let's eyedropper this red and eyedropper it over here. And before I eyedropper it, let me point out to you, when you use the eyedropper tool, you get 4 choices. That's a component mode, object mode, room mode. This isn't a tutorial about the material painter. You got to play with this and see what each one does. But this is the default that comes up. But there's actually 4 choices. And I'm going to paint that red on the outside. I didn't change any of the other walls because component mode just does that whatever you click on. Spin this. You can see that the other side's still fur. Now with this tool, you just click on it and then you pick a color. I don't want to use red again. I want something different. There we go, yellow. And then you can paint that wall by wall. Let's see what, let's put it in let's put it in floor mode. Yeah. It did the whole of that entire thing there. Yeah. See, each of these tools does something slightly different. That one's plan mode, so when I click there, everything in yeah, all the walls turn to that color. Yeah, everything's yellow now because I use the this tool here. Where's those? Okay. There it is. I'm looking for the edit toolbar for that tool. You got 4 modes. So we got plan mode here. I didn't change the color, did I? But this is what you guys should do before you do a lot of use of the program, is study these tools and figure out how they work. Yeah, that worked kind of like I expected. That was a plan mode. And let's see if it got all the walls. Yeah, it got all the exterior walls. It didn't get in the interior ones, but it got all the exterior ones. We'll use that one more time, and we choose a different color. Pink is good, yeah. I just got that interior wall. Oh, okay. That nailed all the walls. That points up something. Sometimes you expect software to be perfect all the time. I never expect it to be perfect. It works 99.9% of the time, and then there's that 0.01% of the time where it goofs. And then you just have to take responsibility for that and fix it. Like I gave it a second command, and then it took. And you can call tech support and complain that it took you 2 commands if you want to, but I think that's a waste of time. I have better things to do in my time than to talk to poor guys that work in tech support. Now I'll go back to component mode, and it just does 1 wall at a time. So just be aware that there's modes of this material painter tool, and that the best way to learn this program is to do it by set your defaults, and then you set that to the majority of what you're going to be designing, and then you make local changes in wall dialogues or room dialogues, and let the defaults do most of the work for you. If you don't set the defaults, then they're just set out of the box, and you get a wood floor in every plan. And if you ever wondered why, that's because that's what the default is, set out of the box over here under, in Essentials, it's under floor covering. Now, I said it earlier in this tutorial to this purple crap, but you get the idea. That's what I wanted to point out. I'm not going to get into specialized things where things are grayed out and so forth. That's a little more complicated. But this tutorial to show you the basics. And thanks for watching.